We were engaged to perform an audit of the town's financial statements for 2021. In 2021, the town adopted a new accounting standard relative to fiduciary activities that resulted in an approximately $140,000 restatement to the beginning fund balances. The most sensitive accounting estimates used by the town include the determination of the total pension liability, which at December 31st of 2020 was $177 million. The pension system had $149 million of assets, leaving you with what's referred to as $28 million in the net pension liability. The actuary estimated that the pension system was about 84% funded as of December 31st, 2020, which really puts it at a very, very high level in comparison to the rest of the state. The discount rate that the actuary uses is 7.25%, which is consistent with the median used throughout the state. And the town's proportionate share of the pension liability is roughly 87%. The electric department is 12%, and the housing department is just north of 1%. The next key estimate is the determination of the total Opeb liability. That is $167 million as of June 30th, 2021. You folks have set aside roughly $5 million for that, resulting in a $162 million net Opeb liability at the end of the year. The Opeb liability is roughly 3.2% funded. The third critical and third and last one would be the estimated allowance for doubtful accounts. There's roughly $500,000 in property and excise tax receivables that is reserved for, as well as about $2.3 million in ambulance receivables. The town's financial condition has been steadily improving over the last 5 years. In the general fund, the total fund balance has increased to nearly $20 million from less than $7 million at June 30th of 2017. That's a compound annual growth of over 24% in that 5-year period. The town's Prop 2.5 override that was completed a few years ago, as well as the receipt and use of the CARES monies in 2020 and 2021 had a good deal to do with that improvement. In terms of budgetary performance in 2021, general fund revenues exceeded budget by about $2 million, the majority of which was positive variances in property taxes, excise taxes, and licenses and permits. General fund expenditures were over $4 million under budget. We saw turnbacks in virtually every single department, as well as a positive variance in health insurance of nearly $1.3 million alone. The town established a capital stabilization fund in 2021, which it funded with over $1.6 million. And certified free cash coming into the year was at $5.5 million for the general fund. We understand that in March of 2022, just a couple months ago, you folks completed a significant general obligation bond placement, and S&P actually raised your credit score from an AA to an AA+, citing ongoing positive operating results throughout the pandemic, strengthening of the financial monitoring and budget management, kudos. And this is the second highest rating that S&P does provide for municipal debt. There's only one higher, that's AAA. The most sizable long-term obligation we've already talked about is the Opeb liability. You set aside about $5 million coming into the year, and the actuary estimated the total Opeb was roughly $167 million. To conclude, the town received its first awards under the state and local fiscal recovery funds of ARPA in early FY22. Your total award is roughly $8 million, of which $5 million is being managed directly and being passed through by Bristol County. And as I understand from tonight, that you folks hired Capital Strategic Solutions to assist you in managing that ARPA program and working presumably with Bristol County.